Superman was just released on digital today. Today. Holy moly, today. So we'll discuss whether or not it's a good idea. But then I started thinking about it because you got Peacemaker coming up, and one of the reasons I definitely think that Superman was released on digital today was to promote that show because it connects into it, right? So then Wonder Woman is already being talked about. So how long is it going to be before we get an announcement of who Batman's going to be? There are some people holding hope still that it's Pattinson. I think you got to let that go in the DCU. So the questions start to become who's going to play the Batman in the DCU. It's been a conversation. It's been happening already, and now it's starting to heat up even more. There's been tons of articles about it, talking about it, rumors about who it could be, actors talking about it. So the guys and I were talking, and we're like, okay, why don't we put together our top 5 list each? So we'll have friendly debates. I can tell you this: we were talking about off air. Winston and I are pretty much in the same zone. Coy is in a different. He's in a multiverse. He's in a different. He's in an absolutely different plane. But some of his picks I thought were inspired, as the kids say. I think he's out of his mind, and we'll discuss that and more on the show here today. We're going to see the guys' face drop when they hear their goal that they have to catch today. Even the Capes and Cowls guy might be in trouble today, but we'll see. It is Capes and Cowls, myself, Coy Jandreau, Winston A. Marshall. Let's get this show started, guys. What do you say? Me too. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Kristian Harloff Show, Capes and Cowls on this Friday. Happy to have you guys with us. This is going to be a fun show talking about our top 5 choices as the DCU Batman. It's going to be one of the biggest stories I think that's going to be coming out in general. And every single time these lists are made and we do this, it's always like, oh, great to see like if anybody on those lists made it. And I think the 3 of us all had when the rumors started popping. When initially we didn't know who David Cornsweet was, so I don't think he was on any list. But once the rumors of who was in there in contention, all 3 of us I think had this guy in the top 2. And I'm curious what we have here today. So joining me on the show, as always, Winston A. Marshall, Coy Jandreau. Gentlemen, how are you?
Don't mess with this new COVID, man. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. I was sweating profusely, and no matter what I did, like I took like 3 showers last night. Like it was bad.
Way to start the mood nice and happy. I like
that's better than like think about it though. Batman has multiple times like had to go play a Jordan flu game and like still fight the Joker while he had the flu. So that's what I'm doing right now. If we're gonna talk Batman, I'm just gonna have a Batman performance right now.
I think we just did it. I mean, it's like one of those shows. Like we might get to other stories. It depends on how long the discussion goes because we have all 3 of us have 5 picks. And there's some like honorable mentions. And I also want to read some of the ones. There's the chat is going to be recommending people I'm sure we're not going to have on the list, and it'll be interesting to discuss that. So let's just have a full-on, conversation about it here today. There might be some other stuff, and maybe we can even start with the reason why I kind of thought we should go into this discussion. And I've heard yesterday I was watching you and Greg on your show, Coy, and you guys were discussing, and it's funny because you were kind of against the fact that Superman came out so early on digital.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So can you elaborate a little bit more why you don't think it was a good idea to come out today?
I understand that it's because it sets up Peacemaker and James Gunn and the DCU wants this to feel like chapters, so you have access to everything before the next chapter, which I love that as a comic fan. I do care more about the theatrical industry than anything other than my family. So like the exhibition industry needs movies that are doing well, and it was still making almost $1 million a day. It had some of the best legs I've seen on theatrical release since the new post-pandemic era. This movie was holding 50% windows, block to block to block, week to week. So it was still making money. I think that it was set to make, 650 to 700 million overall if it had its own exclusivity for another 30 days. I think we need to institute at minimum a 60-day window. I'd love a 90-day window. And I can respect and appreciate that, VOD is still going to make it some money. I can appreciate that people have a hard time affording movies, but if the theaters are going to stay open longer than this recession we're going into, there need to be things that keep it open exclusively. Like, people aren't going to go to the theater if they have the option to watch it at home. So as someone that cares more about the exhibition industry than any studio or any individual or any movie, I want there to be a reason for theaters to exist, which is movies like Superman.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of that. I think that when it comes to a 45-day window, I think that makes sense. I think they should have stuck with that, because that's what it was supposed to. It was supposed to be like the end of August, I think, more so than when they wound up doing it. It would have come out the 26th, and I think they should have stuck with that. But I get it, Peacemaker thing. I don't think it will have as much of an effect, because as you think the drastic numbers of how it's going to hit, like it could have hit 650. I don't think with the numbers it was making right now it was going to do 650. I think if it was lucky, and I think not even lucky, I think 600 is a sure possibility, and I still think it's a possibility, even with those people, because the people that are, I'm not saying you're wrong that there might be some people who said, oh, you know what, I was going to see it in the theater, but I can just watch it at home. I think that definitely will happen. I don't disagree with you, but I also think that it'll also bring in, and you said this, but bring in more cash for the movie of those people who weren't planning on going to theater at all, and they will watch it. But I don't think that the number will have that significant of a drop off in the theater as you think it will. And I use Five Nights at Freddy's as an example.
That is an interesting comp, right? I've been thinking about that, but my thought is that movie Day and Date, and it still did well, and I love that example. My concern is more about not just this movie's 5 weeks out, right? Like, or 4 or 5 weeks out. It's more about the training. Like, human beings are pattern based, and I think we need to potty train humans again. Right. I think a 30-day window for a major release movie is potty training our dog to shit in our lawn.
Well, those are two different conversations, right? And but
I'm saying Superman is now an example of a
agree.
tiny window.
I agree, but by having a movie of that caliber, that big, coming out, whether it hurts it or not, it's going to set a precedent, right?
Yeah, so, I'm not saying this would have saved, August for movie theaters. I'm speaking more to the macro of the next 5 years.
I'm with you on that. I agree with you on that. I think that overall, what is it going to mean for the film? It's. I understand why they did it, because of the promotion and all that. But Winston, where do you stand on this?
I mean, I've always hated the fact that this stuff has been coming out as quickly as it has been. Dan Murrell did like a really great, he's been doing his Dan's World like live shows, and he did like a pretty interesting breakdown how, like, this was even an argument people were having back with DVDs, were DVDs coming out too soon and all that, and he brought up some interesting numbers. I kind of came to a different conclusion than he did, because he said that he didn't think it was as big of a deal. I didn't watch the full thing, I had to cut out, but at first he was like kind of reading that stuff off, and he was initially saying like, yeah, it's not great, but it's not necessarily as bad. I kind of disagree based off of the numbers that he pulled up, because you would see that like a majority of the business for a lot of these movies would end up happening kind of after that 40 or 45-day window. And
majority of box office?
I have to go. Let me see if I can pull like a still of one of the things that he had on there. I can
opening weekend is the majority.
Well, no, I understand that, but the I guess the majority of it coming in, sure, but then what I guess the studios are making, I think, is what he was implying, because a lot of that don't you have to if you're going to talk about actual profit at that point, because all of that is just trying to get back to your budget and all that kind of stuff and things like that.
So you're saying if your break even point is 3 weeks out, the 4th and 5th week are when you're profiting, as opposed to I think I see what you're saying.
That's what I was trying to say. I'm a little bit of a brain fog right now, but yeah. I don't love the idea of pulling it so quickly. And I think specifically what Coy is saying is the point. We were already complaining about how with the streamers and everything else like that, you have gotten to this place where you are training people to not worry about going to the theaters. And I understand that, theater etiquette is in the toilet. I understand that people have built crazy entertainment centers in their homes, or you have a large family and you don't want to spend that kind of money to go to the theaters. But if the aim is to make bigger box offices, the aim is to get people to go back, dropping digitally this quickly is the worst thing that you could possibly do.
It's also an interesting thing about the digital release itself is the digital has more exclusives than the Blu-ray and 4K. So it's not just rewarding the short theatrical window. It's also rewarding not physical media. The director's commentary, gag reel, and one other thing I forget are digital exclusive. And at the end of the day, like when you get a digital release, like you're not owning it physically. Like that to me is such a crazy idea to not have Blu-ray special features. So to me, it's hitting my two biggest industries, which are the theater industry and the physical media industry. So, everyone that's called me a shill the last 17 years, this is me speaking out against a major decision by a studio I'm working with.
Yeah, right. Well, no, I think that so where I stand on all the points that kind of were just made was more so on the precedent side of it, because I don't think that because I know Winston, the brain's a little foggy today, but I don't think
I was talking in circles. It was horrible.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the last 3 or 4 weeks of a movie coming out. It's like you look at when you're looking at what it's making. I think it's going to say a lot with this weekend coming out, the digital release, and then we see how big of a drop it has in the theater. And we can then look at it and say, whoa, that was such a huge drop. Like, yes, we knew it was going to have a drop because it's been out in the theater, but that was such a significant drop. That must have had an effect. I think you can look into that, the analytics, and at least make that assessment. But I do think it's more about the precedent of the idea of like, you got to, because 30 days and people are going to start doing that. And then it's like, then the theaters, if I'm a theater owner, I'm going, or one of the AMC or Regal, whoever, I'm going, whoa, guys, please, can we wait just a little bit? Let us have a little bit more of a run. Or maybe they're also like, let's shuffle more in. It's a crazy business right now. It really is.
I just sent you a screenshot. I emailed it to you because I figured it'd be easier to load it in, of Dan's research. This is one of the things that was on there. But just to read it off here, he mentions that Superman released on digital after 35 days. Comparable performances prior to 2020. Aquaman, 92.3% of theatrical gross after 35 days. Avengers Endgame, 94.1% of theatrical gross after 35 days. And Man of Steel, 97.3% of theatrical gross after 35 days. This is according to Dan's numbers.
Right. Though, they're also not, but you guys are also talking as if they're pulling it out of the theaters. They're not. They're not pulling it out of theaters.
The idea that the people are still going to necessarily go if you're not like a hardcore Superman fan now that it is on digital is crazy.
Maybe unless people want to go and see it in the theater. But I think that one of the things that it's going to do, it's going to keep families out of the theater for sure. Like for people who are just like, okay, look, I was thinking about taking the family to go see Superman. We wanted to see him. Oh, instead of paying, $15, $12 a person, and with all the snacks, I can order a pizza and then pay $25 to just watch it with everybody. Yeah, I'll do that. I got a good enough TV, a good sound. So anyway, it's a big enough conversation that we're going to keep having it, and we'll see what the numbers is next week. What say you guys? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Should Superman be coming out today? And speaking of which, I'm going to be doing a reaction with Sam. And I was going to do a there's a couple things, so I let you guys know what's going on. Lord of the Rings, it dropped. The non-edited version dropped today for members and patrons. Where's the edited version? It was supposed to come out today. I mentioned this on the show yesterday. There was kind of like a miscommunication between the wonderful, incredible editing team and myself. And they're going to have it done by tomorrow. So we'll have that out tomorrow for you guys. Monday, I did the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth. That will hit on Monday. And then Tuesday, Sam's coming in on Monday, and we're going to react to Superman and put that out on Tuesday. So then Lord of the Rings will be the following Friday for Tower. So this is one that she really wants to see. She loved the trailer. And so just letting you guys know the schedule overall. Okay, so we're going to do this big conversation on Batman in a moment here, and I don't want to disrupt it, and I don't want you guys, I want it to be kind of free-flowing. I want everything to just kind of go. I don't want to stop it all. I want to have the conversation. But I also need to tell you guys about, I've been telling you all week, and hopefully you guys at this point, when I'm telling you about the great sponsors that we have on the show, CarGurus, Cash App, I mean, please tell me that you've been, everybody should be using these. I really hope that you have been, but I'll tell you about both of them, and then we'll be right back. I'm going to tell you guys then, and I'm excited to tell you guys, I have been, since I got here, shopping for cars and everything too. Car shopping is tough. It's designed, I feel, like it's like you're supposed to like second guess yourself when you're shopping. It's like, I don't know, I can't tell. Is this a good price? I think this is the right choice. Well, this is the good thing. CarGurus. You don't have to wonder. They have the most inventory of new and used cars, so you can find the best deal. And with unbiased deal ratings, price drop alerts, and in-depth vehicle reviews, you'll make a decision you can feel great about, because a big deal should never feel like a big risk. It is solid, and I think you're going to dig it, because what CarGurus is going to do, it's going to connect you with trusted dealerships when you're ready, and it ensures a transparent and hassle-free buying process. It gives you the control to shop how you want to shop, with the tools, information, and data-driven deals that you need. It's no wonder that SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows CarGurus is the #1 most visited car shop site. So you can buy or sell your car today with CarGurus at CarGurus.com. You got to go to CarGurus.com. Make sure that your big deal is the best deal. That is CarGurus.com. Oh, man, I'm so glad to finally talk to you guys about Cash App. I've been using Cash App forever, and now I get to talk to you guys about it. Don't worry. It's very easy, fast to sign up. Do you even know how much interest your money is earning you in your bank account right now? Well, let me tell you some stuff. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases, you can earn up to 4% annual interest on your savings. There's no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements. Also, you can hit your saving goals even faster by turning on the Roundups feature on your Cash App card. With Roundups, every purchase you make using the card is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and that spare change is automatically put into your savings. Don't let your money sit around and gather dust. Make it work for you. Take advantage of high interest savings on Cash App today. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code and earn some additional cash. For real, just download the Cash App, use our exclusive referral code, Kristian, in your profile, send $5 to a friend. Within 14 days, you're going to get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partner. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure. So excited to have Cash App and both these guys. I mean, you guys know I don't talk about anybody that I don't really love. And I've been telling you guys that for a long time, and I don't get sponsors on the show. So CarGurus and Cash App, they've been great. And I hope that you guys appreciate it. I hope that you guys are able to capitalize on it and let them know that we sent you. All right, gentlemen. Hey, where'd you go? Here you are. Moment of truth. Let's get into these lists. Comic Book Movie did a list also. After we give our 5 lists, they did 7 actors. So we'll do our list, and then we'll go over their list and see who they had. So I also want to let you guys know, as we always do, you guys, I think you guys won last week because of Sam, and we mentioned that on the we mentioned that on the live show. We did the live show in New York, and we mentioned that.
How did that go?
It went great. It was good. We did we did the Don Cheadle song, which was great. To open up the whole thing, and that was fun. But you guys won last week. This week's going to be tough. You want to take a guess on what you're looking at?
Based on what you were talking about at the start of the show and the setup, I'm gonna guess it's like 200 something.
I'm gonna say 207.
It is 177. You want to say who? You want to see who's in the lead?
I'm gonna assume it is Roxy and Sam showed up.
Chris Carr by her lonesome.
Damn.
Wow.
The audience said it's time for Chris Carr to be in the driver's seat, but you never count out the Capes, guys. So let's see what we can do. 15 already before we even got into the Batman conversation. There's going to be tons, I think, of questions coming in about Batman. So let's see. Let's do it. All right. I'll start my list, and I'll give you guys my top 5 on who I think would be good Batman. There were some honorable mentions. There are other people that are on lists that I would be totally up for, would love to see it. These are just people that I thought of that I thought could be interesting as Batman. The first, Joel Edgerton, is somebody I thought would be really, and again, I know this goes back and forth of what age are they looking for with Batman? Are they going younger? Are they going older? Like, he's right in the mid. I think he's in his early to mid 40s, I think. The guy is a tremendous actor. He is, to me, someone that's such range. I just love Dark Matter. I thought it was so great what he did in that one. He brings emotion to it. He could pull off both the Bruce Wayne and then the dark kind of brooding thing. He's just a tremendous actor. So he's my 5. I think, should we go through all 5 and then talk about the list afterwards? Because there's all 3 of us, or should we do one by one? It's up to you guys.
I think all of our 5th, all of our 4th, all of our 3rd. That way it's like a.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. So he's my number 5. Number 4 is going to, I think, shock people that I have him so high or on the list and at number 4. I just have to find the picture, but as soon as I do, here it is. Alan Ritchson. Now, I've been pretty vocal that I think he's too big to play Batman. Well, then I started doing searches of people as Batman. I'm like, holy shit, he looks like Batman. And I was like, there's one particular picture, and I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. This is the one that I saw that I said, the one on the left, that's from Reacher. I know that's Batman. I know that's Ben Affleck on the right, by the way. But and the reason why, it's also because you see the size Ben Affleck was at that time. But that shot with him as Reacher on the left, I almost picture him talking to Clark and having a debate with him about why they should be or shouldn't be doing something. It would be a big Batman. It would be a different type of Batman. It would be bigger than Superman Batman, but I'm starting to come around on it a little bit more than I was previously. I was pretty adamant against it. The third for me, and again, forgive me on the slowness of me bringing this up right now. It's just we got the list in a little late, so it's hard for me to pull all these images in time. But the third is Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett, to me, has had kind of a comeback and has been really showing how solid of an actor he is. And I think that what he would be able to do in this role, I think he'd definitely be able to pull off Bruce. I think that we've seen that darker side of him. I know that both him and I think Edgerton have been rumored for Batman villains, but I'd like to see, I think, as a hero, because he's been playing some kind of darker, sinister characters recently. I'd like to see what he can do overall as Batman. So he's my number 3. Now, number 2 for me is Jensen Ackles. Now, what Jensen was able to do in The Boys, that won me over. And he definitely has the look of Bruce Wayne, and he definitely, and after seeing The Boys and what he can do in The Boys, I have no doubt that he can pull off the Batman side of it. I think that he is also riddled by in the same way that, and Winston has come around obviously on Pattinson, but when we had that conversation years ago about Pattinson, and right away, and not to win, and that Winston wasn't the only person to do this. There were tons of other people who said the Twilight kid. I think he gets the supernatural guy, and I think for me, he can pull this off. I think there's no doubt that he can pull this off. So I'm curious to see if he's going to get a shot, because I know he's also got Boys spinoffs and everything. Number 1 is going to be, everyone knows my number 1, Brendan Sklenar. Was talking about Coy. A spoiler for Coy. You're not going to see this guy on Coy's list. And I think one of the reasons, if you don't, a lot of people I think are getting, well, who is this guy? I don't know who he is. I don't think enough people saw 1923. Winston, I know, watched Drop. And I'll let him talk about what he thought of Sklenar after seeing that. I know we discussed it on the show last week, but it's the 1923 stuff that shows the range of everything that Bruce Wayne and Batman could be. He's got that, and I will say this though: if someone was like, "What do you think you'd be better as?" Indiana Jones or Batman. I'd probably see Indiana Jones, but I still think he could pull off Batman. I think he is going to be a major star, and I think they're just waiting to put him in the right role. He's been circling a lot of Warner Brothers projects, and he's been pretty vocal about it. So those are my top 5. Like I said, there's some choices that we will all agree with. There's some choices that you won't agree with at all. Coy, does my list stink? What do you think? Oops.
No, actually, I like a lot of your list. It's definitely.
Oh, where'd you go? Hold on. Wait, hold on. There you go.
I like your reasoning behind your people. It's very different than mine, but there's no one there. Brendan Sklenar is the one I've seen the least of. But there's no one there that I'd be upset by. But it is a very different list than mine. I think we have one shared person.
Okay, one shared person. Perfect. Winston.
We share a lot of the same.
We share a lot. We share. I think they're in just at different positions, but I think for the most part, it looks like it could be there. But I think, is there anybody that stands out? So I guess, Coy, the one thing we would say for you is there, and I guess I know the answer, is there anybody in that list that if they were cast as Batman, you're like, well, you're really going to have to win me over here?
I think I would have to start watching Brendan Sklenar's stuff. I don't see him as, like, when I think of Batman, I don't see that. Alan Ritchson's probably the second most dubious, just because I don't see Bruce Wayne as being a Hulk.
Right. I get it.
I think he's a great actor. I'm really impressed with what he's done with Reacher. I think the plausible deniability is a little harder, because even in Superman, they made sure to have oversized stuff and kind of frumpy look on Clark Kent, so he looked boyish and a little bit more, unkempt. But Bruce Wayne has to be like regal and poised, and those clothes would fit, and that dude is a tank. So I see him as more of a Sabretooth or Colossus. Like, he's a big boy. But there is an element of the Justice League tone that this Batman would be in that would allow him to be so oversized, right? Because if you're going with Pattinson as the detective and this character as someone that would be in a world where crypto is, you could have a bigger Bruce Wayne in that world. And that's kind of the power of the DCU, is it is more fantastical. So I think now that I've seen Superman, I actually like the Richardson choice more because of tone. But I still think when I see Bruce Wayne, I'd be like, well, that's Batman.
He's 100%. The thing is that he wasn't on my first list when I made it this morning. He wasn't on my list, and he jumped into the 4 spot or whatever it was. But like my number, he was in the honorable mentions at first, because I liked Greg's choice of Josh Brolin. The problem is, again, I don't know where they're going with. And Brolin's like almost 60 years old or whatever he is.
Brolin is your Warner Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Yeah, it's like 10, 15 years ago. I think perfect choice for Batman.
His voice, his look, everything.
Perfect. I think he will not commit to that. I just don't think he's going to want to do the same reason you didn't want to commit to Lantern. So I was like, I don't know. And would he be great? Sure. Depending on how they did it, almost like a Logan type of Batman, what they were going to do. Yeah, so I was like, nah, I'm not going to put him on there because I just don't know how realistic that is. And then the other one was kind of in the same camp of Richardson, but not as big, but tall, was Alexander Skarsgård. Was someone who I thought of too, who I thought could be interesting.
Then I'd love to see Bill as Joker and just play.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say the two of them doing that. But what'd you think of the Joel Edgerton pick?
I love Joel Edgerton. I've never thought of it. I've never considered him because I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. But between Warrior and The Gift, and obviously you mentioned his show on Apple, I think Joel Edgerton is one of the more slept on actors of his whole generation. Like I think that dude is a powerhouse that hasn't gotten that big role yet. Right. I'd love to see him get an opportunity to be a household name because I think he's deserved it.
The only thing I just checking real quick, I didn't realize how old he was though.
How old is he?
He's 51.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like he's in decent shape, and it depends. 51's not that. I mean, depending on what age you're going with.
No. I understand.
Also, there's 40s.
I'm not knocking that, or anything like that. But I mean, if you're doing it for 10 years and Batman just being pretty physically demanding, that's the only thing that I was thinking. As far as like, if he's 51 now, you're talking about you're going to be in your 60s, kind of to wrap this up.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it depends on what type of Batman you're looking at. If you're looking for an older Batman to start, if you're looking for a younger one, I mean, it just depends. But All right, so because Winston's is a little bit more on my. I think that we're closer in list. So why don't we'll bring up some of the same ones. But I think they're in different order. I'm not sure.
Yeah, different order. I could say honorable mentions. I would love to see Winston Duke, but you don't even want to open that can of worms of how people will bitch and moan about that, about race swapping Batman and all that kind of stuff. Also honorable mention Ansel Elgort, except for the fact that all the drama that he's had and the stuff that's been going on legally and all that. I think immediately out the window for all of that. My number 5 would be Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti, perfect.
just kidding. Theo James. Actually,
yeah, I gotta find that one because. Yeah, hold on. Just give me a second. I'll find it somewhere. I thought I had him. Wait, I got him. Wait, right? Do I? I can't tell us. Well, I'll bring up the image while you talk.
Yeah. So no, just Theo James. I mean, I feel like he never truly got a chance to full blown relaunch. Like he had like a bunch of like other good stuff, but we saw that he can do. I forgot that he was in an episode of The Witcher, but we saw that he can do the action stuff when he was in the Divergent series. Even though that series ended up not being super great, he did a good job. So I know that he can bring that action element to it. And I think he gives that's a perfect photo to pull of him, where it gives you that kind of rich boy kind of can play the classy element, but then again, with the action experience from the Divergent series, you can definitely make that happen. Number 4, Alan Ritchson. I mean, pretty much everything that Kristian said previously. And I've been a pretty big fan of his career. I've been watching him since Blue Mountain State, way back. And so I'm just very aware of all the stuff that he can bring to various roles and whatnot. So I think that he would do a fantastic job. And there's something to me about Superman is a metahuman, so the idea of him being super strong but not looking crazy jacked kind of makes sense, that then a regular human would go out of their way to be as jacked as possible to try and keep up with people like Superman and Wonder Woman, etc.
Okay.
Richard Madden for number 3. Obviously we know him from Game of Thrones, we know him from Eternals. He's got that serious element, especially like what he did with Icarus. We know that he can definitely bring the seriousness and things like that. So I just think he's got a lot of solid experience and just has the look, very much just looks like Bruce Wayne. So that really works for me. I mean, even though Pattinson did a fantastic job, I still think that Under the Mask looks great. As Bruce looked a little too emo at times for me, and I think this gives a little bit more of a kind of a classy element with Richard. Number 2, Brendan Sklenar. I am not crazy familiar with all of his work, but just from seeing Drop, that was actually all I needed. I was very impressed with the kind of aura that he gives off. So I'll have to go back and check out 1923. But the work he did in Drop was enough, and I was like, yeah, no, this dude can definitely do it. And then my number 1, Jensen Ackles. What he did with The Boys, as Kristian mentioned previously, the fact that he's already voiced Batman in the most recent animated run of the Justice League, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and all that kind of stuff. I think he would just absolutely crush the role, and he is my top choice to pull this off. And like Kristian said, by the nature of what we did with Robert Pattinson and how Pattinson actually pulled it off, I think we have to get out of this mindset of the supernatural guy, like you mentioned, the Twilight guy. We just need to give people a shot and look at their full run of their career and not just one little element of it.
My favorite choice?
Motherfucking Batman! Exactly why I went back on there.
That's a good. I mean, look, it's a good list. As I said, we were pretty close. Your 5th one, Theo James, was brought up a couple times yesterday, and this is for me having to, as you said with Sklenar, and the same thing with what Coy said with Sklenar, going back and watching a little bit more. I need to watch more with Theo James because I know him from the first time I ever heard about him. He was on a show with Bonnie. They did Golden Boy together, and he was just kind of one note. Apparently, he's great in The Gentleman, and I have not seen that TV show, but apparently he's great and he carries off that charisma. So that's something that I probably have to revisit to see in order to go, yeah, I could see it, because I don't see it right now, but that doesn't mean you just got to get more acclimated with his work, So yeah, I like the a lot of people who've been going after that one too. So I would check that out. We're both on the same page, kind of with Alan Richardson. Richard Madden's interesting too. I like Richard Madden. He's another one, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he can do that very serious thing, and could he pull off the Playboy aspect of it? I
think so, because when I think of the Playboy element of it, the funny thing is like, I think one, he was in Cinderella, so he knows kind of how to be charming. But then the other thing that kind of sticks out is in Game of Thrones, the whole him running off, trying to run off with that. I can't remember the character's name, but that led to the Red Wedding. The love elements in all of that, I thought, were just really, really spot on. So I definitely think he can hold that down and give that charming kind of element to it, because Bruce doesn't always just use his Bruce persona as a cover. There are definitely times where he spills out more into that and is more genuine and genuinely falls in love with people and stuff like that. I could see a moment, if we're getting Damian, that yes, it's still Batman, but that the Bruce kind of comes out with Talia at some point or another, because how else would you have made this child? So,
well, what do you think, Coy? I mean, a lot of the same choices, but there were some different ones. The two different ones. What'd you think?
I think Richard Madden is definitely the right type. I haven't seen enough of his work. I liked him in Eternals, and I've only seen a little bit of Game of Thrones, but what I've seen, he's good. Yeah. He's one of those actors that has that like old money face, and I think that's important. Just that air of like aristocracy. The Waynes are such a legacy, and I think Christian Bale had that in a really great way, where he just had that regality. So Richard Madden, I think, is a great pull for that. What was the other new name?
What was the other new name?
Eccles, Skinner, Madsen, Alan Richardson, and Theo James.
Oh, Theo James.
So Theo James is my number 5.
All right, so why don't we?
My number 5, yeah.
Was he your 5? I don't think he was. No, he wasn't your 5. Oh, why does this keep doing that? Hold on,
I don't know.
That's that. It just went away. So that's that. Then that switched over, and then now your thing is gone. Oh. Perfect. All right, let's see. So let's see, Coy. We'll start with that, and hopefully Winston's lower third will come back.
I'll go with my number 5, which is his number 1.
Which is okay. Ready?
Yep. Jensen Ackles is my number 5. I really like any of my top 5. I think any of them would be great, but I think Jensen Ackles has something the rest of my names don't have, which is this dude is a con fiend. He loves the people, he loves the fans. So in addition to everything that Winston said, he has voiced Batman, he's got the presence, he's got the aristocracy, he's got the energy, he's certainly got the physicality we've seen in The Boys, we've seen all those things. I love how much David Cornsweet is Superman, right? Like, I love that the dude just embodies it. What I love about Jensen Ackles is he's not like a brooding monster. He's not actually like Bruce Wayne Batman, but he gets the fandom. Like, that guy will be at cons signing stuff. He'll be everywhere to meet the people. He's part of the fandom in a real way. So I think that edges him out above any of my honorable mention. Like, number 5 is the acting that he can do, his persona as an actor, but also how much he loves the fans. Number 5, Jensen Ackles.
Okay. So that's one of the similar. This one coming up here, nobody had on the list except you. It is.
Number 4 is Milo Ventimiglia. I think this dude is a super slept-on actor. I think there's a reason he played the son of Stallone all those years ago. I think there's a reason he got hella Emmy noms for basically being a paternal powerhouse in This Is Us, which I think is going to be very important for the Damian Wayne element of the show. Dealing with a troubled kid while being a Caped Crusader, I feel like Milo is uniquely poised at. The dude looks good, like long flowing trench coats. He's got that air of not just old money, but also like he's been in a scrap. And I think that what I like about Milo is he's got the dad element, the scrappy element, the aristocracy element, but he's also like such a good actor. I could see him playing the brokenness of Bruce. Like, Bruce Wayne is a mentally ill man. Like, he's got a lot wrong and he's navigating that. I think Milo could crush that. And I think that he's just not appreciated enough as an actor. So I had put him in here.
All right. So the next one after that?
Number 3 is my dark horse pick. This is a dude I want to get way more work. Alden Ehrenreich. Alden reminds me of Bruce Wayne Batman. This is more of a personal pick because I've known Alden for almost a decade. And every time he is quiet or just like looking off, I'm like, that's Bruce Wayne. Like he's got this brooding and this contemplativeness and this ability to just be so present in a dark way. Like the guy just has this insane presence to me. I haven't gotten to see him play the Bruce Wayne type, except for in that clip you just had, that Hail Caesar, which is comedic. I wouldn't want a comedic Bruce. I wouldn't want us laughing at Bruce. But I think as far as the Batman element, I've seen him play that in so many ways and so many times. If he could pull off a womanizing, bravado that wasn't comedic, I think he'd be perfect for both. I haven't seen it, but I've seen him be Batman. I've seen him have that brooding. I've seen him have that charisma. And anytime he's in a movie, he's the best part of that thing. Like I think any scene in Ironheart, he elevates everything the other performer is doing. I think any scene in Hail Caesar, he did laps around like the cast that had George Clooney and Channing Tatum in it. So I think he'd really elevate a project, and nobody's talking about him. He's a little short, but so is Tom Hardy. So Alden Ehrenreich.
All right, number 2.
Number 2 is Theo James. That's where I thought I had Theo. It's actually higher up because of The Gentleman. This dude is old money swag. This dude is a voice that rumbles and resonates and brings a lot of conviction and energy. This is a man who actually seems like he might have a double identity because he's just so effortlessly cool. I think he actually has the most of the elements you'd need to be a DCU Batman, which is like, he's kind of cartoonishly handsome, cartoonishly debonair, cartoonishly gravelly voiced in a way that feels like I'm Batman. And all of that in a way that feels like it's almost a put on because of how nice he seems in interviews. Like it seems like he's putting on this like I'm old money charm because he seems like just a great dude. And I think that he'd be able to bulk up. He's on the younger side out of these picks. My parents had me at 16, so I'm about to be the age I was when I moved to LA at 21, like now, my old ass. So I think he'd be a good age for a 15-year-old Damian Wayne, and I just buy him as Batman. I like Theo James a lot in this role.
All right, your number 1. I think we know it.
The dude I've wanted from the beginning, the guy I've wanted for the last 4 Batmans, Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal to me is everything you need in a movie star. He is versatile. He is capable of carrying a above the line billing. He is capable of being dark and brooding, but also charismatic. He is capable of being a man that is unwell, look at Nightcrawler, or someone who is able to lead people and carry basically a team behind him, look at most of his work, or he's able to be someone who's so dark and broken you worry about their mental health, look at Prisoners. So if you put Prisoners and Nightcrawler and something like Love and Other Drugs together, that's your resume. Like Love and Other Drugs is Bruce Wayne. Prisoners is Batman when he's talking to Alfred and trying to figure out who he is. Nightcrawler is who this man needs to be when he's in the cowl. Like the man has played Batman. I just need him to play Batman. And I think there's a reason he's auditioned so many times. And he looks like Bruce Wayne. He looks like Batman. He's the right age for a 15-year-old. Jake Gyllenhaal, it's easy.
Okay. So, yeah, there's what I like. It's different picks, different people to talk about for sure.
It's not everyone's fan cast list that we see yet on the internet.
Well, let's start with Gyllenhaal. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is a tremendous actor and does everything that you just said. There's 2 problems with Jake Gyllenhaal. One, you're going to look up at Batman and you go, oh, look at Jake Gyllenhaal playing Batman.
That's pretty much. That's exactly.
Part 2. What do we keep talking about on these movies? These they need to cut costs. You ain't cutting costs with Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman. You're gonna spend a lot of money to have Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman because you're gonna need him for years on. Look at David Corenswet made $750,000. You ain't paying $750,000 to Jake Gyllenhaal.
But not only that, I like because a much smaller star, relatively speaking, just because of the age of their career. Your Lex Luthor made $2 million, and so Jake is going to be garnering at least 8 to 10 easy per movie. Like that.
I would say to those 2 points, one, Jake Gyllenhaal is gonna, like, Batman is always gonna make a ton of money. It's more of a guarantee versus a new take on a character that hasn't done as well theatrically. And 2, I think Christian Bale was fairly recognizable, and Pattinson certainly is. So I think they cast more recognizable for Batman than
they did. They did, but now with the amount of money that you need to cut and you're going to spend on, you think so? Because if you get a lesser known actor, right, or someone who doesn't get big paychecks, they're not going to get extra money because it's Batman. They're not. Whether it's because Superman's still $200 million movie, the agent's still going to say, "Hey, it's a Superman, and it's $200 million." I don't care who's he. Who's David Cornsweet? You're going to get $750,000, and you're going to shut your ass, and you'll make more in the sequel, and that's it. And that's what Brendan Scanar, same thing. Great. It doesn't matter how much we say, "Oh, that guy's great, good." He's been in shit. Pay him $500,000, put the mask on, shut your ass. You make more in part 2.
I think Sklenar would probably end up garnering the same as Cornsweet at about 750, maybe $1 million, just because he's been around a little bit more than him. But $1 million is still feasible. Like that an extra 250,000 isn't that big of a deal.
Right.
But I would argue this is Batman. We're not going Black Friday shopping. Like, I don't think we need to be looking for a price tag as the number one thing. I think it's in the conversation, but it's not like we're going on the sale.
But either we all agree that regardless, Jake Gyllenhaal is going to elevate.
We all agree that Jake Gyllenhaal is changing that budget.
100%. So if this is Jake Gyllenhaal in, you can get him in 2003. Yes. But I think
this is right after Donnie Darko. It's a different price tag.
Right now with these, as far as could he pull it off, there's no argument. There's no argument. Of course he could. The other one we've talked about, Theo James for sure. The two that I think, again, you picked them for, and I loved your reasoning for them. I just don't see them as Batman at all. The one is Alden Ehrenreich. I think, and I will say, everyone on your list, I'm a big fan of everyone on your list. I think they're great actors. Alden, to me, and I said this about Solo the other day, one of the reasons I don't think Alden Ehrenreich worked as Han Solo, because his version of Han Solo wasn't cool. Alden Ehrenreich is a great actor. Majority of his roles, he's just not cool. The character's not cool. He doesn't pull off cool. Batman's got to be cool. Bruce Wayne's got to be cool. He doesn't do that. He was good in Iron. Wasn't cool. It's kind of a schmucky kind of dude.
Very consciously, That's what I'm saying. I've never seen that of him, and I don't know if that is a thing. I don't know if he has that like instrument in his tools, but if he did, like he's already Batman.
But I think they tested him with Solo, and he didn't pull off cool. He didn't have that swagger.
That's fair.
So I don't see
he got completely washed by Donald Glover.
100%.
He's the coolest guy in the universe.
Cool, right? Lando was always cool.
Right.
He wasn't that much cooler than Han. He was cool.
Because if you go to Empire, it's you're looking at Billy D and you're looking at Harrison Ford, and it's pretty equal, and it almost feels like white cool, black cool, equal footing for the two of them.
Feels like
not in that movie.
It was not in Solo. In Solo, Donald Glover up here and homie down here.
But that's also because of them as people. Like Donald Glover walks into a room, you're like, that's a cool dude. Alden, you're like, I want to hang out with that guy and let's just shoot the shit and whatever it is too. He's not cool. So I don't think he works as Batman. And then the other one is interesting one is Milo, right? Milo's actually been asked, as I was doing the research on this for your pick, he's been asked to audition for Batman. He's been
really.
You look, he said something like he didn't want to do it for some reason. Or he said at the time he was told he was too old. Now he's told that he's the perfect age, but he doesn't. And the thing is that I hate doing this. I hate saying this. It's just I think he's like 5'8". And
is he? He looks
5'8", 5'9".
So I assumed he's tall.
He's like 5'8", 5'9". Now, is that a game changer? No, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle. So I don't think he could pull off cool, Milo, but I don't think he pulls off tough. And because you brought up Rocky, which he was great in Rocky, and Heroes.
But he's not a tough guy in Rocky. I think he's tougher in This Is Us. Like he squares off with people in This Is Us.
He's pretty good. He
does, but if I'm pulling anybody from This Is Us, I'm actually pulling Justin Hartley, that more so than Milo to be Batman, and I wouldn't necessarily personally pull either one. I get what you're saying, and I'm a big fan of Milo's work, but I don't know, like he doesn't really give, like, I know he was the lead in Heroes back in the day, but he's just not giving me like kind of Batman Justice League, like squaring off with the Joker and Darkseid vibes. It's not there for me personally, but I respect the pick. I think he's a good actor, but it's not my.
There's no one on your list that's not a good actor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I'm so interested now to see. Now, here's the other thing that we have is that there is a list that Comic Book Movie did.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's any of ours.
I think there's quite a few actually. But let's see what they have here. Brave and the Bold, 7 actors who could play DCU's the Batman. And we start here. Let's see. Robert Pattinson out of the running is what they say. Richard Madden, number 7. So that's what so Winston had that one on his list. Okay. 6, they have Brendan Sklenar, pretty low down there, but they have him on
Lower
there.
than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, then at number 6. 5, Taron Egerton.
He is shorter than Milo.
No, dude, he is Wolverine. He is 1,000% Wolverine.
I love Taron. He's a talent, but he's shorter than me.
Is he?
Yeah, I think like 5, 6, 7.
No way. I'm going to say he's 5'9".
I think the internet's going to say he's 5'9" because everyone 5'7" is 5'9" on the internet.
It says he's 5'9". It says he's 5'9". Okay, so either way, I don't. Does anybody here see him as Batman?
I see him as a lot of things, but not Batman.
I don't see him
Batman. No,
I love him, but Luke Evans, nah,
absolutely not.
Nah, he would be a villain or something. I don't see Luke Evans. No, that to me, that's the most disputed pick on everybody here today. I like Luke Evans, but no, Luke Evans might be one of the most underrated talents. He's really good, but no, that to me that's not a good choice.
Nope.
Winston Duke, as Winston brought up here too. So Winston Duke, but he already played. Oh, he's just Marvel. This is Marvel and then DC. Okay. And then 2, Lee Pace.
I don't like that pick.
I don't like that pick. I'm not a big who is this Josh Wiley? Who did this list? Who did this?
Check
Josh
the tape.
Wiley. Yeah, I love Josh Wiley. I don't like this list. Lee Pace and then number 1, Jensen. Okay, so Jensen Ackles, I think is
we agree with 2 of 7.
2 of
3
7.
of 7 with Richard Madden.
Yeah, there were a lot of
shit. Somebody sent in a super chat saying Jamie Dornan.
Oh, don't waste it.
Well, we'll get to the whole thing later, but I that just seemed like a good choice. And we're still here.
Yeah. Okay, so Lee Pace is not anyone. No, that you Coy's got a better chance of getting cast as Batman.
Dude, no, Lee Pace is the exact wrong choice in my opinion. He's a good actor, but that not for this.
No, and I didn't like the Taron Egerton pick. And I agree with you. Winston Duke, great actor. It's one of those things though that the whole thing's going to be, it's going to turn into a whole
which sucks. Which sucks because that's a situation where, like, truthfully, seeing his acting ability, and because of his size, again, like the better conversation would be the one you're having about Alan Ritchson and being like, is he too big? If that was the conversation that was going to be had around it, I would hear that argument all day. But we already know exactly what it would be, is that it would immediately become, oh, you got Reese with Batman. We have White Panther. Like, so as much as I would love to see it, and his VO of Batman was also phenomenal, that's why I put it as an honorable mention and left it at that.
It's funny, Winston, my actual pick from This Is Us outside of Milo, but not for Batman, before we had our Superman cast, I wanted Sterling K. Brown as Superman so bad, because that dude like puts on glasses and he's Clark Kent and he takes them off and he's Superman. Like, that dude transforms and he's so yoked. I mean,
he would also be a fantastic Bruce Wayne Batman switch as well. Just thinking in terms of like, God, what is the name of that show that came out on Hulu?
Paradise.
Yes.
Dude, he's such a superhero actor, and then like they did not utilize him well in Black Panther. Like, it was like a one-off. Like, I want way more Sterling K. Brown. So the DCU, pick him up.
All right, so that's our overall list, and that's the Comic Book Movies overall list. What do you guys think about it? What do you make of it? Do you like our list? Whose list out of the 3 do you line up with the most? Do you have your own list? Here's the deal. Whether it's in the live, the replay, or on the Clips channel, put your top 5. And if you think that they're going to choose, if you're confident you think that person can do it, why can they do it? Let's start on excuse me, a good conversation. Okay, so we're going to get to some questions now. And before we do it, I want to know what's going on the channels. Start with Winston. Winston, what's going on your channel, man?
It's been a little quiet this week just because of the sickness, but my rally out of the theater reaction should be out after the show is over. I just need to cut out my thumbnail. Other than that, next week, provided that I am back and fit as a fiddle, then I will be back with a blurred breakdown on Monday. I'll be over with Roca on Tuesday for Spill the Tequila, back here next Friday. So just check it out at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms, YouTube, Twitch, and everything else.
Coy Jandreau.
I finally got a microphone. Very excited about it. We now have mic and lights. We're building the studio. Check me out on YouTube, my page. I'm doing a live stream later today with my favorite comics of this week. I had enough time to finally read this week's book, so I'm all caught up. So I'm going to do a breakdown of my favorite comics of the week, but I'm also covering both Peacemaker starting on the 21st and Alien Earth every single week on my page, plus every single big release on Friday. So Nobody 2 just came out. My Nobody 2 review is up right now. In 2 weeks, Caught Stealing comes out, which is my big movie of the fall. So movie reviews, TV reviews, comic reviews, and then you can find me on DC High Volume every few Wednesdays and every other Friday. DC Studio Showcase, new episode drops today. You can find me almost every single day on The Real Rejects and twice a month on podcast Coycast, and doing interviews for The Hollywood Reporter for their red carpets.
Your mic, for some reason, did the setting go off?
Did it stop working?
You just need to be close. That's what you need to keep it closer to yourself.
I'll hold it right here. I plugged it in for you guys. This is the first use.
There you go. Yeah, that's the sweet spot.
You need to use
I'll hold it.
Perfect.
Like a newsman.
Well, there you go. Okay, let's see. Now we're gonna get to some questions. Let do it. All right. So first one we got is from Farty Supreme. What's up, Farty Supreme? I was for Sklar, but I changed to Nate Mann. Look him up. Looks exactly like Batman and sounds like Kevin Conroy. Juilliard trained. Also, please, no Jensen. Why no Jensen? Because he's a supernatural guy. That's did you? I'm curious, but I don't know Nate Mann. I have no idea.
Man, I'm not familiar.
That's him, but I don't.
Your game, Nate Mann.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him. Do you know anything about him, Coy?
I've never seen that man in my life.
Well, there you go.
He was in Licorice Pizza, I guess.
Oh, okay. I don't remember him in that. I like that movie. Erwin Derlicks gave a new member. Good time. Unedited Lord of the Rings. It's up there now. Did you guys? Coy, you said you saw Alien Earth episodes 1 and 2, right?
Oh, dude, I've seen the first 4, and it's.
You've seen the first 4?
I think the studio is my show of the year.
Okay.
But if Alien Earth sticks the landing, it's probably a close second. And you know how much I love the studio.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Zeus Fleming became a YouTube member. Thank you, Zeus. Sean McCabe, what's up, Sean? Happy Friday, Capes and Cowls. Ackles for Batman. There you go. Connor Mullis, Corky and Wilson. Yes, they're here. Okay, next one here, Connor Mullis. I got absolutely obliterated front row at a Def Leppard concert last night. That's so good, so worth it. Still feeling.
Wow.
I
love that for you.
Me too. I
love this text from 1977, 82, and not 2025. This Def Leppard fucking message.
Yeah.
I didn't know they still toured. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the first concert I ever. It was Def Leppard and Bryan Adams. First concert I ever went to in my life. Spitter Swallow 69. Oh, that's nice. Superman's profit will mostly come from a merch bump. Also, very, very true.
I mean, that's going to be all. I was just going to say that's going to be typically a vast majority of all superhero stuff, though. That's it's always about selling toys, man, and capes and crypto stuff, plushies, and all that kind of stuff. But the box office is still important. Like if the movie doesn't do well, you're not selling anything.
I think that's an interesting conversation of movie math we don't talk about enough is the whole of it. And all the ads in movie, there's so many times you see they fly by a billboard. That's a factor in cost.
GoPal, I agree with Dan that it's not going to hurt Warner Brothers because the movies get 90+% in the first 30 to 45 days and they get bigger cut from VOD. Okay.
I don't think it's 90%. That seems crazy.
I don't think it's going to hurt Warner Brothers at all. I don't think that's the argument Coy was making that it's going to hurt Warner Brothers. It's more so it's going to hurt theaters.
Yeah. And I love me some Superman, but I love me some movies.
But nobody just puts Coy that hurts the theater. There you go. Go pal.
Same page. Go pal.
Same page. He follows it up. WB will get 80% VOD versus 50% from the theater, minus 50% from the theater.
I think that is a factor, right? Is like these movies, as they're slowing, it is putting them on VOD for that last little surge. I just think 32 days or whatever it was is still a little soon.
Daynapper, do you think digital and physical should be released on the same day? Call me old-fashioned, but I do. Well, here's the difference, right? Is that, I mean, well, I guess not, because you're still paying that same price, but
you might as well own it.
You might as well own it if you can.
Call me old-fashioned. I think physical should be first.
I think that they feel like
they should drop at the same time. And like, if you're gonna, I understand what's going on. You should not be able to buy it early. If you want to say that the rental thing that they're doing, fine. If you want to do a rental earlier, you could. But I think you should be able to own it digitally the same time you own it physically.
And it wasn't that long ago that was the case.
Yeah. As Row 24, my picks for Batman. Jesse Plemons. As Batman.
No. Very good actor, but no.
Yeah.
I would love to see him as Scarecrow.
Taron Egerton. And
no.
Joe Keery's interesting.
Joe Keery.
Stranger Things. Joe Keery he's interesting. I like that. Winston Duke. And Josh Hartnett as an older Batman. Keery would be interesting because the question is, could he pull it off? I love
he seems a little young.
I see him as more of a Robin. I think he'd be an excellent.
Maybe.
Right, he would be a really good. Like, I could actually see him pull off like a Dick Grayson.
Right. Well, you guys brought it up on the show yesterday. I guess the rumor was that he was up for Harry Osborn. He's a perfect Harry Osborn.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Well, Keery's interesting. The question is, because he's the kind of guy that's like, okay, well, what he is cool. Joe Keery's cool. I'd like to see what he can do.
I take it back. Jesse Plemons, not Scarecrow. Jesse Plemons would play a great Hugo Strange, Coy.
Yeah, he'd be a great villain. He doesn't have a look for Batman. Mad Sinister Macau, you have to get rid of one franchise, either Alien or Predator. Which one and why? I say Alien goes. The first movie is great, but the rest is overrated. The only reason I'm keeping Predator. The only reason, because I think Alien has had a much better run, and I think Alien has had, especially right now they are on top. I mean, Prey was good, and that animated show, from what I've seen so far, is pretty good. Badlands to me looks okay, but Alien, I loved the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth. Really liked Romulus. The only reason I keep Predator is because the first Predator is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I would get rid of Alien only because of that, because I don't want to get rid of that first movie. How about you guys?
I think I'm keeping Alien because I love Aliens. I think James Cameron's Aliens is as good as Ridley Scott's Alien, but it's different. And I love that. That's kind of the example I give of like how to change genres well, OG style, and then like do that. So I'd keep Aliens because that 1-2 punch. I think Alien Romulus is an amazing third Alien film. And then Alien Earth, I'm loving a lot. But I do love Predator. I love Danny Glover in the second Predator. But I think Alien is slightly more hits than misses. But I would hate to lose Carl Weathers in Predator 1. Like losing Carl Weathers would break me.
Yeah, Alien franchise has the better movies for sure, but the
higher highs, definitely higher highs. It also has I was just gonna say it. I feel like it also has the lower lows, but it definitely has the significant, like those first 2 movies are like classic cinema. Yeah. But I think to answer the question, I'd probably get rid of Alien and keep Predator just because I think Predator is cooler.
The first movie is it's the best. What the hell are you? Ronaldo Meza Puerto. Do you think that Supergirl will have a bigger budget than Superman? It shouldn't. And how risky is it release it 1 week after Toy Story 5? Not risky at all, because I think it's that's a very different audience. That's family and kids, and I think that Supergirl will take on that comic book audience and families as well. But no, it shouldn't have a bigger budget. That would be a massive error on their part. But Coy, what do you think?
I don't think it does or would. I feel like, we were speaking of budget of actors. I feel like Millie Alcock is similar in that, like, she's about to be a household name, but casting wise, it's not crazy. And I think the story takes place largely in space, so they're going to be building sets, but I don't think there'll be as much like cordoning off parts of the city. They did so much practical. I think they'll do a lot of practical, but it'll be a different less costly practical. So I think it should be cheaper. And I'm wondering about that release date. I don't think it's the Toy Story 5 of it all. I think it's the 3 weeks till Odyssey and the 2 weeks till something else. They need a nice chunk of landscape there.
When I asked you earlier, did I pull a Winston on you, or did I actually hear you, Coy, when I said how should we do our lists?
You did pull a Winston, but it's okay. I was saying we should all do 5, I'll do 4, I'll do 3, and you're like, I agree, and then you did all 5 of yours.
Yeah, no, that I definitely was laughing about that. Okay. I was like, I thought we were all doing our 5s, but okay.
I thought you meant do all 5, and then, okay, it makes sense. Do all 5. So
and you were like, with your conviction was so strong. I was like, we should all do 5. I'll do 4, and you're like, yeah, got it. 5, 4.
Literally,
here's all of them.
Literally, because I feel like ass, I was like, I must have misunderstood. I clearly did not understand that.
I thought it would be interesting to count down like until we get to 1, and instead it was like social clip.
Here's it all. Clip. Yep, there it is. You're right. Bradley Pooper. My top 5 choices for Batman are Kyle Gallner, don't know him. Oliver Jackson Cohen, not sure who that is. Josh O'Connor, don't know him either. Austin Butler, Josh Hartnett. Okay, and bonus Paul Mescal. Paul Mescal's interesting. A little, I don't know. I don't know the first ones.
Yeah. Kyle Gallner's a great actor. I don't see him as like old money. Okay. I think Josh O'Connor is a great actor as well, but I don't see him as Batman. Austin Butler is Gambit to me. Yeah, these guys just don't have that Bruce Wayne nest to me. But Josh Hartnett, I think, is the we agree there.
Okay, go pal. I like that Kristian says you guys pick how we do the list. Coy answers, and then Kristian does a complete Definitely, I definitely misheard him because I was like, okay, if he wants to do 1 by 1, I'll do that. I was like, no, we should just do all 5 each. I'm like, oh, okay.
Tournament style. Nope.
Yeah, I misheard it. Boom or bust. If the mutant gene became reality today, how would the world respond? If you developed a mutation, would you hide it, rebel, or try to coexist? Depends on what it was.
It would truly depend. I mean, like the reason the Morlocks exist is because most of them look like some version of a monster or a freak, and that because people are terrible, they go and hide underground so that they don't get hunted. Like the X-Men, that's the quote unquote pretty privilege for most of them, because most of them look like regular humans, and you wouldn't be able to tell they have powers unless, you know, someone knocks off Scott's glasses, or, you know, Charles keeps having his freakouts like in Logan. You would have no idea. So I would be fine with it, but I know people would freak out.
Tom Hanks, thoughts on The Bear season 4? It's my second favorite season after finishing it. I loved season 4.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Thought it was fantastic. Everyone was telling me how the season's not as good. Yeah, there's a lot of talking, and there's a lot of, but I thought it was a lot of character development, and I thought that Carm had his best arc in this whole thing.
I feel like they finished a lot of storytelling they were trying to do in the second and third season. Like this felt like a really good culmination. I like 4 a lot.
Yeah. You guys are at 50 thus far. Not bad.
Wow.
At 107. John Darius, happy Friday, guys. What do you think of Sarah Pigeon from I Know What You Did Last Summer as possible Wonder Woman? Is she the one from the studio?
Let me see. Sarah Pigeon.
She's genuinely the right age and honestly has a look. What's your thoughts? Is that, I think she's the one from The Office. I mean, not The Office. I say The Office. I meant the studio. Yeah, Sarah.
No, she was in Gotham for 1 episode. She's in The Wilds. She's really new.
Oh, I know. I know who she was in. Did you guys see I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. I know who she was in. As Wonder Woman. I mean, you guys know my pick. My pick is Arjona. I think she's
how tall is this girl?
I think she's taller. Let's see. She is 5'10". Pretty tall. Yeah, she's tall. So I don't know.
And she just needs to get, if she's gonna do it, if that's a serious question, then she's got to get jacked. Like Wonder Woman can't be a beanpole. She's got to like be a warrior.
Yoshimitsu. Josh Brolin is Bruce Wayne, and Wee Ha Jun, the young cop from Squid Game, he's pretty good too. It's Terry McGinnis. High-tech Batman fits better with the new Superman. Interesting choices. It's going to be so. I don't know. Go ahead, Coy.
I was going to say, I think a way to have Josh Brolin as Batman is a Batman Beyond, because I do think like you don't want a full decrepit like in the cartoon necessarily.
Right.
You could do flashbacks of him as Batman that way and have that cast work. But I don't know how soon we'd get a Batman Beyond, because that would be a third Batman.
Right. Derek Spinna. Remember, David Cornsweat is around 6'4". If you want an actor around the same height, you don't want Batman looking up at Superman. Alan Richardson is it. Well, I don't know if you don't want an actor looking up to Superman. And I think that's the whole point with Batman, is that Batman has to try to figure out how to, be toe-to-toe with everyone, even though he doesn't have superpowers and he doesn't have maybe the prowess of a Superman. So if Superman is 6'4" and he's 5'9", 5'10", or even 6 feet, looking up at I don't think he needs to be eye level.
So just by the typically comic accurate breakdown of people's heights, Bruce and Clark are about the same. Bruce is 6'2" and Clark is 6'3". They're comparable as far as that goes. So but it's something to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah. Doru Stratamir became a YouTube member. Thank you, Doru. Nathan Drake, Army Hammer. He got too much controversy surrounding him right now.
I think he's in the season of Marvel Zombies on September 24th.
Well done. Is he for real? I was going to say well done, but I was like, wait, who knows anymore? We didn't really talk about that. I guess they're moving up Marvel Zombies
till like soon. Like 4 episodes starting on the 24th. And apparently they're TVMA, which is exciting. It'll actually be zombies, but
that'd be interesting to see. But I don't know if I've ever cared less about a project.
I just didn't like What If enough to really. I'll watch it, but I hope it finds me.
Yeah, maybe I'll try a little bit of it. But if I couldn't even be bothered to watch Spider-Man, which everyone says is amazing, the animated show.
It is.
So everybody says. I'm like, I might watch it, but maybe not. Parker Haller can't just be handsome guy with scowl and muscles. Needs the vibe of repressed weirdness and crazy. That's true. Bale, Keaton, Pattinson all feel that they hate people in sunlight and will snap at any moment. That's very true. Yeah, you can't.
But that's why Eccles is probably why that became number 1 for both of us.
Yeah,
because you saw how he was as Soldier Boy. There's no doubt in my mind that a criminal looks at him the wrong way and he will beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I want to see how that plays out. And that's one of the reasons I think Skonar can definitely get to that dark place. I mean, you got to see Coy. There's a scene in season 2 of 1923 where he's on a boat, and essentially what happens. I mean, I don't care at this point. We're past. So if you're going to see him, he's trying to get back to his homeland. He's trying to get back. He's in Europe, and he's trying it's 1923. It's not easy to travel. So he's trying to figure out a way, and he gets put on this boat, and there's a bunch of different people on this boat, like, criminals and other things. And he's down there, and there's this guy who's getting, this younger Italian guy who's getting sexually assaulted by this other guy. Brandon Skonar beats the ever-living piss out of the guy who is doing the assault, like, to where it's just like, and he's protecting this guy and winds up protecting him and doing this. And it's like this scene of what he does and how he's doing, and like coming to the rescue of, someone who's being hurt. And then he does, and his reasoning for it afterwards, and having to explain to the officers of what he just did and what happened. And I was like, whoa, that scene alone, that's the scene that you should watch and go, okay, maybe.
Apparently there's a YouTube clip of it. I'm going to watch it. I'll watch that.
You should watch that scene. Edit Mahmoud. Ben Barnes is Batman. I like Ben Barnes, but he doesn't come to mind as first one. Narnia.
Top 20, but I wouldn't have thought him top 5. Like when you say it, I'm like, I could see it, but like, doesn't leap.
Yeah. Look, he should get an audition. How about that?
Did you guys see The Residence on Netflix? It's pretty good. Another thought that just came to mind, and this dude like has experience with action stuff because he was in NCIS Los Angeles, but Barrett Foa.
What? I don't know him.
I think he could pull it off pretty well.
All right. Real quick, I'm going to call an audible, and I want to bring up this topic here. Let's see, I don't want to lose us here, so I'm going to bring this, and give me a moment, because this is an article that came out. And so X-Men 97 showrunner ridicules Marvel's new X-Men plan, says it's sad. I'm assuming this is Bo DeMayo. According to a former creator from X-Men 97, Marvel's plans for the X-Men are nothing more than sad. The showrunner from X-Men 97 held nothing back in calling Marvel Studios' plan for an X movie sad. While the MCU's first X-Men movie might not hit theaters in the foreseeable future, anticipation is still high for the Marvel Studios to have its crack at the mutants before a new cast and creative team. Fortunately, along with that excitement comes plenty of skepticism, even from some who have worked with Marvel before. Bo DeMeo criticized Marvel Studios' strategy for introducing the X-Men and mutants into the MCU. While DeMeo was fired from Marvel, he has remained vocal and critical about Marvel's upcoming plans as the franchise's financial and critical struggles continue, along with revealing some of Marvel's plans that were partly in the works during his tenure. He also had nothing back in terms of being critical about some of those plans. Posting to X, DeMeo spoke on having faith in Marvel Studios' plans for the mutants, saying the group is so much bigger than any one creative, including himself. While the short answer to that question was no, he went on details to why he feels that way. He said, first, the X-Men are so much bigger than anyone creative, myself included. Would I have loved to write, direct, steer the live action films? Of course. But I have great faith that there are amazing artists out there who have amazing visions and stories to tell with the X-Men. Now, do I have faith in the MCU's mutant saga? Short answer, not yet, no. And let me walk you why, not so you don't think I'm being a hater. According to DeMeo, the X-Men needed deep planning to pull them off and make them resonate. He went into details on what Marvel had planned to do with the mutant saga before his unceremonious exit. He said X-Men requires planning, deep planning to pull them off and make them resonate. You have to be very mindful of how you're laying out their story and the way in which audiences will experience that story. You also need to suppress your ego to make it your own and focus on meeting the mutants on their terms, which means deeply respecting their canon and the emotional investment that fans have in that canon. With this in mind, this is the start of Marvel Studios' mutant saga. He kicked off with the change to Kamala Khan's background, which changed her from an inhuman to a mutant, calling the move a young adult retcon that Kevin Feige forced onto the franchise to make it feel like his own. He lamented not seeing any of the original X-Men take that introductory position instead of having Ms. Marvel. He continued by saying that a new cast jubilee showing up at the end of Ms. Marvel to recruit the young hero would have been better than what fans got. He said a retcon and musical sting in Ms. Marvel that she's now somehow a mutant, yada, yada, yada. I want to go back past this. DeMeo did not enjoy the weird nostalgia cameo of Professor X and Doctor Strange 2. But he said something about, I guess that he said something along, this is a long article, but he said something about Kevin Feige resenting. Let's see. Lastly, all the Fox characters we thought were gone and dead are being brought out yet again to manufacture artificial interest and distract from Kevin and Marvel Studios' decade-long failing of frequent failures. I guess he just kind of goes at, I mean, there's a lot. Next to, okay, so let's talk about how Kevin and Nate and Marvel talk about one thing that's come out of Marvel that was universally loved. Oh, right, they don't. In fact, Kevin and his vaulted parliament at Marvel didn't even attend X-Men 97's premiere. One of the crew members was in the elevator with Lou the day of the premiere and mentioned it, and Lou had no idea what he was talking about. Also, notice how everyone at Marvel talks like Deadpool and Wolverine put X-Men back into the modern zeitgeist. Sorry, that was X-Men 97, and even Ryan Reynolds has acknowledged it. Sadly, Kevin Feige and his sycophants hated that what I crested with my team was getting all the praise. Although he tried not to come off as egotistical, he felt that X-Men 97 resonated with the MCU's core audience in ways that Feige and his team of higher-ups have not done in years. He also noted being that told Feige resented his work in the show while other artists praised him for what he accomplished. There's a lot there. Hold on a second. All right. This is hard to, it's like, the problem is this. It's that, like, I've never spoken to Bo DeMeo. I don't know, but he does come off as just disgruntled. You know, comes off in the fact that like he was at this place, he got let go. His work was absolutely like loved by everybody on this panel. I mean, the guy clearly knew X-Men. There's no doubt about that. Is some of the stuff he's saying true? It very well might be. It very well might be. But it's hard. I mean, in the same way, like, look, I love Rob Liefeld. I love Rob. When we have conversations with him, it's hard for me to take his tweets serious about Marvel now, because he's like one of those guys that everything Marvel does, he just hates now. And it's like I can't take that stuff serious anymore, because like everything you say now, you just hate it because. And so I get that feeling from Bo, but I can't say that it's not exactly accurate. Some of the stuff, I don't know, Coy. What do you make of this? Oh, I don't know why it keeps doing that.
To me, it's looking through sand, right? Like you're kind of just sifting for gold, trying to find the truth nuggets in the rage. I don't know what Bo went through. I don't know what Kevin Feige's side is. So like it's a one-sided argument of someone that has I don't know what parts are, fact versus feeling. But it's really hard because I did love X-Men 97, but I do feel like now we are in an age of hating on Marvel and finding the flaws in things. I don't know what it was that Bo DeMeo did that got him fired, but it sounded egregious. I don't know what it was that Kevin Feige did that made Bo DeMeo hate him so much, but it sounds like a big thing. So I just know that, Kevin Feige has given us 20 years of Marvel Studios property, but when I hear these details, it does sound like the X-Men are being steered in a very certain way. I didn't love the Miss Marvel comic choice to turn her into her into her TV self. I think that's very short-sighted, and it does hurt the character. I love the character of Miss Marvel. I don't like that she's like a shiny little, looks like rock candy arms. I thought it made sense for the show because stretching abilities are very costly and it reminds people of Mr. Fantastic. But to change her comic character into a mutant, I think Aman Vellani did the best she could trying to write comics that would allow for that bridge. But now that it's landed, it does feel like a subversion of the character. G. Willow Wilson, the writer of Miss Marvel, even said they were very intentional with her character. They didn't want her sparkly. Cut to she's sparkly. So I that's what I'm gleaning from the Bo things, is trying to find the little pieces that aren't feeling but are fact. But at the end of the day, like, we've seen what Kevin Feige's given Marvel. We've seen what Kevin Feige's given Marvel Studios. We know that he gave Hugh Jackman his accurate hair. Like, I don't want to take away from what he's done because of the things he might be doing, but I also don't want to ignore someone that's upset, but also that person has done wrong things.
It's hard. Winston, what do you think about all this?
So, I don't have nearly as many sources as you guys do, but I do have a few, and I am aware of the fact that, there's a point at which I just need him to stop talking. There is a large possibility that a lot of the stuff he's saying about the creative direction right now is correct, and that's fine, but this does just come off as disgruntled worker yells outside of building with sign every day. Because it feels like every couple of months, if not less than that, he ends up back in the news just yelling about how much he hates Marvel and how whatever. Like, he was going on and on about Fantastic Four a little while ago. He was going on and on about Thunderbolts, and always using that then to come back to his situation and how they screwed him. No one is saying that Marvel doesn't necessarily have some of its issues kind of going on that obviously they're trying to figure out, as far as why box offices aren't doing as well, why people maybe don't trust the brand as much anymore, things like that. I think that's all valid. But to continue to come from him when even here's my breaking everything that happened and nothing came out of that, like it was all kind of innuendo. And like, he charged people for that originally, and then he released it for free, and it still didn't say anything. It just, I don't know. I kind of wish he would just stop talking, personally.
Fair enough. What do you guys make of this in general? Agree? Same page? Like, hey, it's true. He should be talking about it. Let us know. All right, back to the questions, because I figured we should definitely talk about that. John Darius Sklinar as Batman equals yes. We need an actor that gets. They'll be in the role for 10 plus years. Plus, he can bring the confidence Wayne has been missing since Batman Begins. Do you think he has a real chance? I think he's going to be in the conversation. I think that James Gunn will see him. But remember, it's not just James Gunn's decision here. It's going to be is it going to be Muschietti? I don't believe it will be. I think it'll be somebody else. I'll tell you who I want to see direct a Batman movie now is Kreger's from Weapons.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. That guy. I want to see that guy direct a Batman. That'd be great. But who knows? What do you think, Coy? Well, I know you don't see him as you don't have enough footage on it, but do you think because of all the hype and everything too, you think that they're and his relationship with Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I think from the outside, it seems like
why does he keep doing that?
I think it's an incredible conversation, right? Like, I I want the dude who is clearly a fan to get an opportunity, and I love that the fans want him to get that opportunity. So just because I don't see it doesn't mean that it isn't going to happen, or that I won't change my mind once I see this boat scene or some other things. So I do think there's a lot of buzz, and that's exciting. And it kind of bothers me that the internet doesn't like that. Clearly, when someone's in the running and there's hype around them, it seems like there's this conversation of like internet casting. It's like, if someone's right for the job and they find out via the internet, why is it bad that someone in creative positions of power listened? We talk about democratizing art all the time. I think it's a beautiful thing if someone can come from obscurity adjacent. Obviously, this dude's not obscure, but I didn't know his name until people started saying him for Batman. Now I know the dude's name. That's exciting to me. So I think it's absolutely viable.
What do you think, Winston? You think he's gonna get a shot? Winston, are you there? Winston? You there, Winston? All right, I guess we're moving on. Perfect. All right, Tyler Gosha, still doing the VO of Capes and Cowls comics. Yes. So right now I'm still working on, like, as you guys know, I'm working pretty heavy on this pilot right now. Getting the final version of the script is to the director. And then we're moving forward with like the Kickstarter. So Capes and Cowls, we have to get everybody together and just figure out a time to do it. And it's going to take probably a few recording sessions in order to do it. Then I got to bring an editor onto it. But yes, absolutely, still thinking about doing it. Okay, so we have 63 questions thus far. Not bad. Miguel,
and their goal is 107,
177.
Whoa.
Yeah. Miguel Zane, I like Jamie Dornan for Bats. Very good actor. Has been nominated for an Oscar. Early 40s, not too young, not too old. People will recognize him from 50 Shades. Jamie Dornan. Is that the?
He's the Irish dude.
Yeah, he's the one in You, right? Yeah,
I like him. I mean, I'd say he's in my top 10. Like, I think my number 6 would be Sebastian Stan, but like he'd be like a little bit after that.
Okay. So, Matt Simpson McCall, who would you cast as Batman villain? No Joker. I mean, who would you cast as the Batman villain, or who would you make as the villain?
I think both, right? They want us to pick a villain and cast him, maybe.
Winston, your mic's off. I don't know what happened to it. But,
hello.
There you go. Better.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, I don't know who they want. Who do you think they're going to go with in Brave and the Bold?
I mean, I still really like, I keep bringing up Hugo Strange. I don't like, I feel like Hugo Strange, especially dealing with Damian, would be kind of interesting. Like, I know all your deep dark secrets, including your love child is actually also a superhero with you. I think it could be really interesting.
I think if they go Hugo Strange, which like viable, then it might be like a big villain to fight and then Hugo Strange manipulating, right? Like you've got like a Mr. Freeze or something like a bit more fantastical up front. And then you've got the more human element in the back. And then I'd love to see Batista as Hugo Strange.
I mean, Jesse Plemons is Hugo Strange. Sure. I stand by that. I think that he's a fantastic actor. There's a reason he was not. He didn't win the Oscar, but he was nominated though, right?
He might have been. Sean Peterson, Lee Pace already worked with Gunn on Guardians. I mean, yeah. I mean, again, I'm sure he can recommend, but it's a matter of who's directing. If it's Muschietti, maybe Muschietti starts bringing in some of the people he's worked with. That's why maybe Skarsgård comes in for an evil role or something. Karen Vonderman, Tom Pelfrey is my pick. I don't know Tom Pelfrey. You guys know Tom Pelfrey?
I do not. Let
me
see.
Tom Pelfrey. Okay. I don't know Tom Pelfrey. What's he from?
I do not know this man.
Oh, I know who he is. Yes, you do. He's from Ozark. He was great.
Oh, I do. Yes. He's great in Ozark.
He was great in Ozark. I don't know if I see him as Batman, but he was great in Ozark. Like, what happened to him? Like, where's he been? But Karen Tom is a actor in general, but
I mean, I guess he's been doing a lot of TV. He was in Love and Death. I think that's with Elizabeth Olsen.
Well, he certainly falls into the category of what we're talking about, though, of getting those, those actors who are, okay, we can get this guy for 500, 750,000 to do it, and he's a really solid actor, which is a sound strategy, by the way. Chris Lee, here's my top 5. Jamie Dornan, there's Jamie Dornan again, Gabriel Mock, Jensen Ackles, Joshua Jackson, Theo James. People like that Theo James pick, man. Yeah, I guess I got to see the gentleman on
I think that'll help sell you. He's
Joshua Jackson. Interesting. I don't think so.
Dawson?
Yeah,
yeah,
he was,
no.
And it was ridiculous. Oh, he was in the Karate Kid movie. Reels and Heels. My gut feeling tells me that Batman's already cast. It's either Jensen Ackles or Alan Ritchson, but leaning more towards Alan. Nah, he's not cast yet. Out of all these people are sniffing around, people would know. It's just there's too many people who got their hands in the pot now. The Mohave Social Club. Christopher Abbott for Batman. No way. The movie James White's older for me. Sad, violent. Christopher Abbott. Is that who? Let me see. Who? I think.
That's interesting pick.
I think I'm thinking of somebody else. I was thinking of somebody else. Christopher Abbott that's not a bad pick at all. So take away my no way. I was thinking of the dude who just did the voice for Galactus, and he sounds deep voice.
Ines or whatever.
Yeah, he's great, but not as Batman. But that's not what he said. He's Christopher Abbott. Christopher Abbott's good.
Ralph Ensign. He definitely could not be Batman. He does not have he has the look the same way that Jesse Plemons has the look.
Nobody said that. He said Christopher Abbott. Christopher Abbott is a good pick. Wicked art. Hey Coy, what about Milo as Nightwing?
I think he's a little older for Nightwing.
Old.
But I like your energy. But yeah, I think he's
Milo for Gordon.
Gordon's a good
Wouldn't
pick.
Be mad at it.
Gordon's
Milo for Gordon.
Yeah, he can
Bryan Cranston's been my Gordon, but I think he's almost too old now. But I want Cranston.
CJ just jumped in. What have I missed, guys? Oh my god, you got to do full list on Batman. You got to go check it out. But we have a whole bunch of people with some really good suggestions. Day napper. A lot of us use movies at the end of the day to unwind. How does someone in your position unwind after a day of filming reactions, going to premiere and talking about movies for hours, spending time with my family, to be honest? And it also it's still like TV that I want to catch up with that I don't really even have to necessarily even talk about. Like what I've been doing now is I have a list that I have that I go home and after I'm done doing everything and I have some alone time, what TV shows I need to catch up. And right now I'm watching Tulsa King season 2.
I am currently rewatching the fourth grade Ninja War arc of Naruto. It's funny how just because I've been sick and I couldn't move, I've been able to fly through because it's deep. It's like 150 episodes of this war arc, and I've blown through like 30 or 40 episodes just in the last 2 days because I couldn't move.
Well, but I also and I think also Coy, same thing is that you've been going the gym helps you unwind too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really struggle to not have film and comics feel like work. Like I don't really read comics for fun anymore, and I don't really watch anything that isn't like in the back of my mind like how am I going to use this?
Right.
So the gym is like my time, and I thought about doing gym content, and then I was like I'll commodify that, and then I'll lose it. So the gym and music, because I don't really talk music much, so music is still special.
Music's big. Comedy, that's my big thing is comedy. So either going to do shows, writing my own shit, like jokes or scripts, and just watching stand-up specials that helps too, to separate from the rest of this.
Yeah, I mean, so and I even did so yesterday, and I will say this though too, because I wasn't gonna talk about it. You were talking about gym stuff because the gym to me has almost become like a church for me.
I saw that pic, man. You're looking great.
Oh, thank you, man. So I wasn't gonna post that. I wasn't gonna post it because I was like, oh, I don't want to be someone that's posting like gym stuff and other stuff. Nothing against people who do, but I was like, I don't know if I should do that. And I talked to Roxy, and I said to Roxy, I said, what do you think if I posted this picture and I sent it to her? She's like, you should definitely do that because I think you might inspire some people. And I said, because my whole point of reason why I wanted to do it was say, hey, this is what I wanted to put health as a priority, and I wanted to do this, and I've been doing this, and this is me basically doing. I wrote a whole long post, and so this is the picture that I posted yesterday. And
wow, dude.
Yeah, so I got a lot of people. But I got
Alan Richardson.
No, I don't know that. But I just got people. But I got people who were. I got a lot of really nice messages because of it. And I actually got phone calls from friends I haven't heard in a while, but also saying, look, I've been trying to get myself back into it. What are you doing it too? And I was like, okay, that if you can do that and just going there and being, in that mindset, it resets. So,
dude, and you're buying time back in your life, and a photo might inspire someone else to do the same. Like I was so self-conscious about gym photos, then I realized I got 98% positive responses every time. And I'm like, if one of those people was inspired, I helped someone live longer. So I think it's great, man.
Thank you. Geek Lodestars. I talked about this with some friends. Is the Rushmore superhero movies: Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, and maybe X-Men as a whole. Who's another hero or team you might think be in that mix? Wonder Woman, maybe. I
mean, Avengers have kind of made themselves a movie.
That's true.
Name.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you're saying superhero movies, yeah, the Avengers would probably have to be in there too, movies wise. But if you're overall with comics, I mean, because Iron Man wouldn't be in comics, but as far as movies,
if you're
it's a different conversation.
Yeah,
to the point where, like, if you're talking movies, because both Superman and X-Men have been more hit or miss than everything else, you would replace one of them with Avengers at this point.
Right. I think so too. Yeah. All right. Moving forward. 76, guys. Not too bad. About 100 away. Peter Kolenko. If Warner Brothers is doing well, like it is with the run it's had, does it give more leeway or take pressure off Gunn DC to have massive box office numbers? I think it takes pressure off, because they look at everything they have as a whole and say, well, Sinners did this, did that. Okay, Superman maybe didn't make 300 over profit, but it did well enough that we're not in a bad spot. But I don't know, Coy, do you see it differently?
Yeah, I see it as like anytime a movie does well for a studio. I think that, we look at Lilo and Stitch and the upcoming Avatar helping Disney out. I think you look at Warner Brothers having this incredible run of low budget or mid budget films making high budget numbers, or high-ish budget for post-pandemic numbers. I think honestly, DC Studios is separate of WB enough that they've got a little bit more leeway. But I know at the end of the day, when Warner Brothers stockholders look at their money, it's not going to hurt if they've got like all of this wiggle room and freedom. And I think they launched Superman as the launch to the DCU, not just the launch of Superman. So I think it's a beautiful thing. It's done as well as it has for the whole company, but especially for DC Studios.
I am Too Fly Cam. Best hands in DC. Do you mean who could throw hands the best?
Yeah, throwing hands.
Black Canary or Wonder Woman?
No, it's gotta be Bruce. It's Bruce or Wonder Woman. Canary's up there, but Bruce is literally a master of every martial art on the planet. Not like I know them. He has literally mastered every martial art. The only people that throw hands harder than him, correct me if I'm wrong, Coy, is like Lady Shiva. And
I'd say Lady Shiva, Wildcat, Batman.
No. Wildcat's a boxer, bro. That's it. What, like,
hands?
Yeah, sure, but Bruce whoops his ass constantly.
If we're talking the traditional throwing hands,
if you just mean boxing, fine. But Bruce literally has mastered every single martial art on the planet, bro.
And Lady Shiva's beat him. Lady Shiva.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Lady Shiva, Bruce, and then Wonder Woman's in that conversation too. But nah, Wildcat is the man. But no, bro.
Black and red. Bill Skarsgård for bat.
Smart move, Kristian.
What? What'd you say?
Smart move. Pivot. Comic nerds yelling about sandbox fights.
That's what I have. All right. For Bill Skarsgård, to me, is more villainous. Legend MM600, badass new lower name badges thing. Y'all rock. Yeah, that's I give props to. What happened to that? Where that was there and now it's gone. Well, it was good for while it lasted. Yeah, while it lasted, it was good. I don't know why it like disappears sometimes. Maybe this is it. Hey, look at that. So yeah, Luke helped me with those and kind of came with this whole thing, and we've been redesigning the whole show with that stuff too. And the goofballs that we brought the goofball show back, so we were excited to, and it all started with our lower thirds, and now we decided the whole thing should get a facelift, and it did. So there you go.
Looks good. Coy, I'm gonna send you this list. This list that I think is pretty spot on, man.
Mad Sinister McCall. Who has more jobs, Pedro Pascal or Coy Jandreau? Coy. Yeah.
8 right now, man. 8 simultaneous. I am a broken man.
It's a lot. Brandon Summers. Kristian, you'd love The Gentleman. It was excellent. Theo James was so good in it, and he'd be my top pick for Batman. Okay. I mean, look, I like the movie. He was charming, suave, and had that edge. Alan Rickson and Richard Madden would also be great picks as well. All right. I mean, you, Brandon, you know my number one, but like, Theo James, maybe I have to go check it out and see. It seems to be a lot of people. Like, I don't want to do what I said. You know, again, what we've always talked about. What happened? Well, Winston just said we shouldn't do with the Robert Pattinson is this person. I don't know. There could be a performance that you just haven't seen. In the same way, Coy's like, I'm going to check out that scene and see, because maybe it changes, and it could definitely change with Theo James.
I was so stubborn. I was probably the most stubborn person you knew about Pattinson, and I stood corrected. I went and watched Good Times.
That's it.
Like you told me to do, and I was like, maybe I should shut up.
Yeah. Casual scroll. So I just want to have the conversation, not cause controversy, and not come from everyone. Let's see. Mark Bernardin actually had a few takes why Bruce Wayne, not Batman, couldn't be black. I believe his reasoning was due to the fact that Bruce comes from old generational wealth.
Yeah, but you got to remember what year we're in now. So like, there's definitely ways that you could make that happen. We're in 2025. We're not like, or like, there is definitely a world when you consider like the Madam CJ Walkers, and there have been plenty of black folk that have made money over generations and stuff like that. It's certainly possible if we're shooting this in modern times. If you're trying to shoot this when Batman was kind of originated, we're having a different conversation. But no, it could still happen one way or the other. But again, that to me is not where the problem would lie. The problem would lie with people that would immediately go, you guys waste everything.
Yeah. So. Sean, based on your Batman list, who's your Alfred? Oh man, good question. I feel like every single person I come up with, I'm like,
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston would be an interesting Alfred. But
that is not a British man, but I like it.
But do you think he can't do a British accent? Or do you know how many Brits steal American roles?
I don't know if he can, because here's why I'm never going to say a great actor can absolutely do it, because Denzel can't. And if Denzel can't, then I'm not. If he's one of the best of all time, if he can't, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see. You'll tell you someone who could, and that they could bring him out of retirement is, imagine Daniel Day-Lewis playing.
Good God, Art.
That'd be
amazing. There's your price tag. We're gonna pay Bruce Wayne $750. We're gonna pay Daniel Day $10 million.
We're gonna pay him everything else,
just to bring Bruce T and go, wow, you should maybe sleep more.
That's right. Kenya King, Tom Brittany as Batman. Gunn praised him recently. He's praised
someone in the chat said Ray Fiennes. I love Ray Fiennes as Alfred because he's a former MI6. Like, he's still scrappy, but like has that poise. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
ooh, or Pierce Brosnan.
Also a good one. I like that.
Oh,
too.
and yeah, the Tom Brittany thing. Before we leave that, I'm very curious about that, because I do think there is an element of casting where you cast like a wide net and then you remember them for the future of the DCU. When I interviewed the casting director for Marvel, she had said that Joseph Quinn went out for Spider-Man. I don't know if it was the role of Spider-Man, but like he auditioned in the Spider-Man trilogy for something, and she remembered him, and Human Torch happened. So I think something similar with Superman might be a thing where it's, Tom Brittany went out for Superman, got really close. Maybe that works out for Batman. I don't know, but that'd be interesting to see these names start to come back.
All right. Jack Lewis, wondering if you guys have played the Insomniac Spider-Man games. If so, do you think the Holland Spider-Man movies will go a similar route with the symbiote storyline?
I don't necessarily think they'll go a similar route with the symbiotes. I played the first Spider-Man game. I know he's in the second one. And the end of the first one. But I honestly think that Secret Wars is finally lining up with a Spider-Man movie. I hope they find, like, within months of a Spider-Man movie, we get Secret Wars for the first time ever. I really hope they land it for comic fans.
I really need to borrow somebody's PS5 for like a weekend.
There you go.
That's my problem.
You should do it now while you're ill.
I know that might be the move.
Yeah. Daynapper, hey DoorDashers, put your phone in your pocket and carry the phone with two hands. Here. Sorry at work, just venting. Stay awesome, guy. Yeah, especially if you're gonna, don't drop it on the floor, then you're in your problems. MDD 0101, Scott Eastwood Batman. I don't think Scott Eastwood's the best actor, to be honest with you.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I just don't think he's the best actor.
Cool looking dude.
He's cool looking dude, but he's like,
I want an actor.
Yeah, not for that. Andrew Carnes, our Pat's gritty, real tone, exactly why I want him as DCU Batman. Would love to have Bats as the audience's eyeline to the broader world of DC gods and titans. I just think we're in such a different place now. I used to think like, okay, it's very possible it could happen. We've all been all over the map of what's going to happen. I think it's so clear cut now that Gunn's like, we're doing 2 movies, and that's what we're doing. Are you drinking Jolt Cola? So it looked like.
Look, wow.
Oh, look. Perfect.
Oh, that live delivery. Are you drinking Jolt Cola?
That's what it looked like.
The kids today with their Jolt Colas.
Jolt Cola, is that making a renaissance? Like Josh Hartnett, Jolt Cola coming in hot. All right. So yeah, no one on this panel anymore thinks there's going to be Pattinson in the DCU, right? I mean, Coy ever thought that, but
I've always been this team that's seeming to get the two Batmans I've wanted.
Winston, any shot that it still happens? No. All right. Brandon Summers, what's up, Brandon? Kind of a crazy pick. Vinny Jones for Alfred. Also in The Gentleman, but he can play Regal while also giving you a 2-piece with a biscuit.
Vinny Jones.
Dude, Vinny that Jones. Is such a big, bold take, maybe. That's so insane.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But who knows? But I don't see it. I don't
see it at all. If you're gonna do that, then at a certain point, do you just go with oh my god, what's his name? Beekeeper and all that shit.
Statham?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I'm the butler.
Yeah, you need him. It's like you're gonna find Bruce. A joke. Are you ready to find a joke? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what
Bruce.
Yeah. Would watch.
Bruce, you just go ahead, put him in the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Don't talk to him, just put him on the ground. You know me. It's funny. I saw Ricky Gervais in T.O. Where's T.O.? What comic?
Office?
The Office? Maybe. What comic character would you cast him as? Penguin would be cool in Gunn's DCU. I just feel like he wouldn't want anything to do with it. I might be wrong.
He hates
Yeah.
If he was going to be anybody in it, then it would be something like the Mad Hatter or the Riddler, just because of how much he hates everything.
Yeah,
and he would put
be a fun toy man or ventriloquist.
Right. Yeah. Matt Krugman finished the studio. You were right, Kristian. The finale killed me. Seeking Naked Gun with my lady tonight. Get well, Winston. Can't wait for the next stream. Coy. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, the Naked Gun you're gonna get a kick out of. It's
so good. I finally saw it.
Oh, you finally? It's hilarious.
Saw it. Okay, so you know what he's talking about then, the whole thing about I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but the why don't you take and then no, I already have plenty.
Such a good line. the delivery of so many jokes that shouldn't work. It's a masterpiece.
Okay, so
dude, I still can't get over that OJ joke.
Oh,
that was great.
Hugo Strange, Christopher Waltz.
Oh,
Christopher Waltz Alfred would be interested too.
Interesting.
That'd be interesting. Why don't you come and see? I can't even do it. I was going to do his voice. Can't do it.
So specific.
Yeah. Peter Kalenko. Jack O'Connell is another option for Bats. I'm not going to go against Jack O'Connell in anything. He's becoming like anytime I see him in something, like, oh, cool, Jack O'Connell's in this. Unbroken, he was great. Sinners, he was great. I don't know Rogue Heroes. And 71, he was really good in too. Yeah, it's true.
Startup, and I've been following that guy for years. He's incredible.
Yeah. Jack Lewis. You guys think that the MCU will introduce Miles Morales after Holland exits? Yes. Or do you believe that Sony will want to start their own universe with him and not make a new deal? That's also possible, though, because I think
I could see Sony waiting till after Spider-Verse and having him be their live-action Spider-Man.
Yeah. I could see it going either way. But
yeah, I'd be excited if he's in Secret Wars, but then that would be a Marvel deal.
Right. Okay. Joey Pedris. What's up, Joey? Saw someone say Mark Maron is Gordon. Thoughts? I could see it.
He just is Gordon. That's just like he's just as is.
I can see that. Mad Sinister McCall. Beth Snyder just talked to Gunn from a telephone booth. Jerry Jones will be Alfred. Nice. John Roca is the Penguin. Okay. Jeff Snyder is the Joker, and Johnny Sins for Batman. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Beth. Appreciate that. Zeus Fleming. Marlon Wayans as Batman. Remember he was supposed to
be Robin.
Robin, yeah.
Right.
He still gets residual checks.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Reels and heels. The reason I said that was James Gunn said in a not so forward way that Batman will show up before Brave and the Bold.
I think there's a very clear path to that with the already established. I mean, he already has showed up in Creature Commandos, but there's a movie coming out with like a villain of Batman. I would hope to see him in.
Yeah, I think they'll. I wonder if they're gonna. I don't know when they're gonna debut it. I don't know. Not sure. Mad Sinister McCall, Logan Marshall Green Batman, and Harloff NYC Mayor. I'm going to be the mayor. Yeah, right. Who the hell wants that? Who wants that job?
I love Logan Marshall Green. I think he's so good in Upgrade. He looks so much like Tom Hardy, though. I'd be so distracted. That dude. He's Logan the Skeet Ulrich of Johnny Depp's.
Oh, okay. Paul Hitchcock, Christian's traps are looking good. Probably doing dumbbell shrugs, which is whatever that dumbbell. Roga says something stupid. Christian shrugs. That's pretty funny. Hell of a workout. So what I do, again, I was listening to Coy and Greg yesterday too. So my routine, if anybody gives a shit, is on Mondays I do legs. I start the week with legs, and because a lot of people don't like to do them at all, but I figure you start. My buddy who put me on this thing, you start with legs. You get over Tuesday, chest and back. Wednesday's day off. Thursday's buys and tries, and then Friday is shoulders. Nice. And I do abs all 4 days.
Wow.
A dedicated shoulder day really shows. People don't appreciate how much it changes your silhouette, and the silhouette's a big part of like why people look strong. So a shoulder day is smart.
The shoulder day is there's 7, like, so for when you're doing both buys and tries, you do, because you're working the same one, you do three exercises for each. And then for shoulders it is 7.
Are you doing supersets? So it's like buy, try, buy, try, buy, try.
I did 3 buy, then 3 try. Like I did. So I start with what the first one that I do for buy is just curls, and then there's the regular, then there's the machine, and then I do, and the one I agree with you. Oh no, wait, do you hate it, or who like? No, Greg hates it.
I love
hammer
curls and tricep, man.
Yeah, hammers are. But you said you don't like skull crushers.
Oh, I love, that's one of my favorites. I think the pump you get feels like you're actually working out. Greg doesn't like them, and that's silly to me.
I love skull crushers.
But he's like a martial arts build, and I want to look like someone you would walk the other side of the street from.
Greg could fight at lightweight right now.
Greg could fight. Greg is so nimble, and like he's an actual martial artist.
I remember when we did Schmodown, and he did like that jump kick, whatever too. Yeah, he's nimble. Yeah, Mad Sinister Macau, Logan Marshall Green, Batman. Oh, we did that one already. Sorry. Paul Hitchcock, we did that already. Brandon, Roca for newly created Batman villain, Notorious Hater. Oh, come on. Superpower, his opinions on reviews for facts. It's okay, Coy. You can laugh at this. Now stop that. Eric Kenny. Dan Stevens, 42, inversely versatile. Dan Stevens is pretty good. Legion, The Guest, Downton Abbey. Can do light and dark. General audience ladies appeal. Bruce Batman, that could contrast a darker Damian Robin, while also able to go full Zarin R. I like Dan Stevens. I think he's pretty good. I don't know if I see him as Bruce, but I wouldn't be like, oh, they got Dan Stevens. Damn.
Yeah, I've never been bummed when Dan Stevens was in a thing, but I see him as so jovial. But I mean, obviously he plays dark too. But I think of him as so happy. But I'd love to see the tape.
B. Gill Studios. My top 5 is Theo James. Okay. Richard Madden. There you go. Robbie and Mel. Interesting. Milo.
Robbie loves Batman so much. That's so fun. Robbie's a friend. Like, I love Robbie. I just saw Robbie like 2 weeks ago. Robbie has like Batman statues all over his house. Like, Robbie's a nerd. That's really fun. His favorite one is this the Hellboy, Mike Mignola creator, made this like very like shoulder tilted Batman, and the dude's obsessed. So I'm saying Robbie because he looks like Batman, but also he loves him.
Oh, I mean, the only thing funnier than that was then, your brother played, Green Arrow.
Cousin Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Man at the movie.
Okay.
When Justice League happens, can you see the first one to have 7 on the team? Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and future Justice League movies to mix the teams. Green Arrow, Aquaman, but keep the main trinity. What do you guys think?
I would take a wild guess that we're gonna get a Justice League that looks more similar to the animated series, because again, you went and cast Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa as Jon Stewart, and he looks exactly like Jon Stewart from the cartoon. So you're kind of setting a lot up to what it feels like. Like, you already have Hawk Girl in the mix. Like, it feels like you're moving in that potential direction of that crew from the 2000 animated series.
I agree, and I think it's good to distinguish the two. I think just like X-Men won't be the original 5, it'll be some of the giant size era as well. So I think it's going to be a little bit bigger.
Geek Lodestars, have you guys been reading Absolute Batman? All of his Rogue Gallery designs have been straight out of a horror movie.
They really have, dude. Bane and Freeze are both terrifying.
Nick Dragotta is having a good time. And they're co-creating. It's not just artist-writer. They're like creating this world together, which I love.
CJ, take out Superman and put Incredibles in there. What? Yes, Christian, we know you hate animation. Stop that. But put some respect in their names. All hits, no misses.
I see what you're saying about the Rushmore thing. Look,
I don't think it's
brought up good, but it's not good enough to take those two movies and put it on the Rushmore. Four. It's crazy.
And without Superman 78, like we don't get Batman 89 or the world of today.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessary. I loved Incredibles, but it wasn't original. They took it from Fantastic Four. Kenya King, Ray Fiennes as Alfred. Yeah, that's a good one.
Love it.
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. Timothy Etzel. Hey guys, I love the show and listen daily. I'm looking for a Justice League run. Strong themes, good character relationships, cool art. Any suggestions?
Dan Mora's current run with Mark Waid is incredible. It has all the things you're asking for, and the art is exceptional. It's on right now. Like, it's so good. I think some of the
unlimited one.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Julius Wyatt. Rob should be the DCU Batman. I feel the right filmmaker can strike proper balance between Gunn and Reeves. I don't know if you all took Rob out of the running. We did take him out of the running because of that. I just don't think I don't think they want to lose Matt Reeves, and I don't think Matt Reeves wants anything to do with the DCU. And they don't want to lose him. That's why I think that Pattinson. Yeah. Trey Border, Kenneth Branagh as Alfred. Great choice.
That's great. I like that.
Great choice. Chris H becomes a new member today. Thank you, Chris. Again, we have a live stream. There's exclusive live streams for the members, and that's going to happen today at 4:30 my time or East Coast time. So there you go. So someone said Batista as Hugo Strange. Yes, Brandon Summers. And I think that you also mentioned that too, didn't you?
Love that. I think he looks like him right now too. He lost some of the weight, but he's got that menace, and Gunn loves him.
Yeah, he's going to be in something, obviously. Kenya King, Kevin Durand as Solomon Grundy.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, I like that a lot, man. Born on a Monday.
Kevin Durand is great. He was in something recently that was really. He was just in the Apes movie, but he was.
He was just in. My God, Naked Gun.
What?
Naked Gun.
Exactly right. Yes. Peter Kalenko, Ian Glenn, John Mormont as Alfred. I don't know. John Mormont as Alfred. I don't know Ian Glenn.
That's wild. I was trying to put my finger on why I know Kevin Durand, and obviously he's in Naked Gun, but I really know him as Blob. That's hilarious.
Ian Glenn, John Mormont from Game of Thrones. Yes, Ian Glenn would be a very, very good call. Great call. One of the best ones so far. Ian Glenn is a great choice for Alfred. Colin Collins became a YouTube member. Very, very nice. Thank you. I'm so excited to have more and more of you guys in that live stream. Join the live stream. If you remember today, join that live stream. It's exclusive for you guys. Shane Adams, after Marvel's reboot, I think Kevin Feige needs creative help. He needs the James Gunn to his Peter Safran. Who would you guys choose? That's harder to say because you didn't know who Peter Safran was beforehand too. He's like it's like the executive names. You got to find like one of those topics. And the same thing I say about like Lucasfilm. You need somebody who's just got really good studio executive.
I don't know studio executive.
I don't either. Yeah.
The only name I'd say is Coy Jandreau.
Nice. Julius Wyatt is incredible. Still the best Fantastic Four movie. I think up until recently, but I think that the new Fantastic Four movie is a legit Fantastic Four movie. So
I like the new one. I need to rewatch Incredibles, to be honest.
Yeah.
I love Incredibles, but the new Fantastic Four movie's got it.
Missing Score 44 recently rewatched Fantastic Four. I was curious. 2005. I was curious how you guys think it holds up as a film. I haven't seen it in so long. I remember thinking it was the farts back in the day, but I have to check it out.
Go to my page. About a year and a half ago, I actually was redoing the Fox Marvel Universe kind of reviews. Like I was doing rewatches of them. So go check it out. All my thoughts are right there.
Guys, you had a really solid run today. 94 with the last one.
Damn.
Jason Statham as Alfred.
That's what I was saying before. Just put him in the ground.
Yes,
enough of this bullshit, Bruce.
I just want the whole trailer to be I'm the butler.
That's it. I'm the butler. You know what I mean?
Do you know what that means? That means if you come in the Batcave, I'll rip off your dick and then I'll kill you with it.
You want some help? I'll help you.
Do you see
the grave?
Do you see that giant penny? I'm about to shove it up your ass.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Put your feet down. Move over to the right, then move over to the left. Sit right down. I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean? All right. So again, hell of a run. 94. Normal day. Yeah. Chris Carr just put out a career shower. 177 Chris Carr wins this week, but the guys put up a stellar performance. And let's talk about what's going on in your channels before we get going. Quick plug there. Winston, what do you got? Oh, that's not Winston.
Nope. YouTube.com/swaggyblurred, Twitch.tv/swaggyblurred. Again, my relay out of the theater reaction should be out momentarily. And then other than that, I'll be back early next week on Monday with the new Blurred breakdown once I feel a little better.
All right. Coy Jandreau.
You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, and sometimes Instagram at Coy Jandreau, doing lots of movies, TV, and comic book stuff. Please hunt me down. I appreciate y'all.
Guys, thank you so much for being here today with us. Really appreciate it. So much that we have going on in the channel in general. That's not Steph Sabra. That's not me. That's me. That's me. Perfect. So again, appreciate you guys being here. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. We have Lord of the Rings that's coming out, the non-edited tomorrow. CJ says Syndrome over Galactus. Okay, that's fine. We have a lot going on with Alien Earth, and then I hope Superman comes out next week. Sam will be back next week. I have other things. I'm bringing in some new people. We're working on those virtual reactions also. So I'll have some more news soon. So I wanted to thank Winston. Thank you to Coy. Appreciate you guys so much. And we'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.